fast. That's when the attorneys at Sweet James step in. They help you understand your rights, connect you with medical care, and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to. You don't pay anything unless your case is resolved successfully, and help is available 24 hours a day. If you've been injured, call Sweet James for a free case review. Hablamos Español. 800-9-million. 800-900-0000. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tech-Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
What would you do if you could multiply your cash? Would you multiply your vacations? Multiply your relaxation? Or multiply your celebrations? With multiplier scratchers from the Arizona Lottery, you can multiply all the good things like vacations, relaxation, and celebrations. Play multiplier scratchers for over $270 million in prizes and multiply your fun. Arizona Lottery. Love the play.
It pays to play at your local home for Caesars Rewards, Harrah's Auction Casino. With the nation's largest and most rewarding casino loyalty club, your play grants you perks at more than 50 destinations across the nation. Stay, play, splash, and dine, and then take in a Vegas show or steal away to Lake Tahoe. Because with Caesars Rewards at Harrah's Auction Casino, it always pays to play. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700 or 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Visit the Caesars Rewards Center for details.
For nearly 25 years, Primavera has helped thousands of Arizona students succeed with an accredited world-class education, tuition-free and from home. Don't wait. Enroll today at ChoosePrimavera.com. That's ChoosePrimavera.com.
At Certified Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights, at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Fridays at 5, I'm out exploring. From hiking up Camelback to skiing at Snowbowl, the adventures never stop with AAA. It's membership that travels with me, whether behind the wheel or a passenger, in my ride, my buddies, or a rental. AAA's got 24/7 expert help with tows, battery help, and more. Plus branch services like free passport photos and trip planning. Membership gives you all this and more for less than $6 a month, and I can add loved ones for half off. Call or visit your local branch today. AAA, your membership to go.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
I hope everybody had a great weekend. We are back here, the lunch break, Monday edition, KDUS AM 1060. The free KDUS AM 1060 app. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out with you for the next 2 hours as we kind of decompress from Combine Week in the NFL. And just a week away, a week from today, the Arizona Cardinals may have spent all of their money. That's what next week brings for this team. We'll start to lay the foundation for what may happen next week over the course of today and this entire week on the program. Producer Evan, how are you today? Did we have a good weekend? My taxes complete. Done.
Oh, we're done the taxes.
We're done. Yes.
Good weekend. Yeah, not much going on. I didn't really do much.
And by done, I mean I have inputted all of the information in. I have not pressed the button to fully submit.
Okay.
I always like to. This is my first year of doing them. And so I had a plan coming in of, okay, I'm going to do it all once. And then I'm going to kind of, take a step back from it. And then go through it again to make sure I didn't miss anything.
I like that.
Because you can't just, first time you're ever doing taxes on your own, I normally, family member helps. Now, I had my father-in-law consult with me.
I did them the first time by myself last year.
How many times did you look it over before you hit the button?
Maybe once.
Really?
That's it.
One additional time after you did it?
Yeah.
Or just one in total?
I did the whole thing.
And then you went over it again.
Then I went over it again.
That's where I'm at. I'm going to do the once over another time and then hit the submit button, probably before I leave for vacation.
Do you use anything? I used TurboTax last year, I think.
I use, not that we're, sponsored by any of these places. I use a program called Free Tax USA.
Okay, nice.
It's like $17 to file my state and $0 for my federal and just submit it. but I want to go through it one more time. But I got the bulk of the work done this weekend because you mentioned this in the morning meeting. Just very weird the Suns didn't play all weekend. Just had nothing really. We had some Diamondback spring training baseball, but not a whole lot to keep me entertained.
It was nothing. It was one of the strangest weekends in sports I can remember.
May have been glued to the NFL Combine, the Underwear Olympics, as they are referred to by some. We're going to talk about the Combine, lots of storylines, lots of takeaways, and their impact on the Arizona Cardinals. But I want to start. Today's program. I want to open the show. I want to open the week with maybe more of a philosophical conversation. I want to speak to those of you out there who want this team to tank next season, because this is the week where the Cardinals will pick a direction.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
And what do I mean by that? Well, we know that maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but at some point between this Friday and next Friday, the Arizona Cardinals are going to make their decision official. And all the signs are pointing to a release, an outright release of quarterback Kyler Murray, ending that chapter of Cardinals football and launching into the next chapter of Cardinals football. And it is that next chapter that I want to focus on here to open this week and today's episode of the show. Because that chapter, unlike most books you read, doesn't have any words written down on it yet. This chapter is a bunch of blank pages. We don't know the story that is going to get written in the next few chapters of Arizona Cardinals football. But I do know that those chapters start getting written this week. And I think there are two different versions of what these chapters could look like. I told you, we're getting philosophical to open up the week on the show. There's version one. And that version is one that many of you out there probably subscribe to. As much as I've tried to convince you why it is the wrong thing to do, there are many of you out there that think the next few chapters of Cardinals football need to be written with the word tank involved. Many of you out there think the next couple of chapters of Cardinals football include or need to include a bottoming out of this team next season. A 3-14 season last year will pale in comparison to what you want this season to look like. A complete bottoming out of this roster, winning at most maybe one or two games, no appetite to spend big in free agency, no appetite to try to be competitive, to have a puncher's chance in the NFC playoff race. That is what some of you listening to my voice here today or watching us on the KDUSAM 1060 YouTube channel, that is what some of you, maybe many of you, I don't actually know how large this segment of the Cardinals population is, but I know you're a vocal group. And those of you that want the Arizona Cardinals to tank, want the next couple of chapters to include a moving on from Kyler Murray and nothing else done to the quarterback room this offseason. You are not enticed. You are not mesmerized. You are not captivated by the idea of Malik Willis being a potential long-term answer at quarterback. You are unswayed by the dart throw that Malik Willis could be at the quarterback position. You are not enthralled with the idea of signing Jimmy Garoppolo, drafting a quarterback on day 2, and having Jacoby Brissett, Jimmy Garoppolo, a day 2 quarterback, battle it out over the course of a season and maybe win, just in your mind, a few too many games. To be on the outside of what is a, at least as of right now, loaded quarterback class for 2027. Includes producer Evans, number 1 QB, Arch Manning, could include somebody that we all know very well in Sam Levitt, just to name a couple of the quarterbacks that could be seen at the top of the 27 class. You think the next couple of chapters need to involve a tank like we've never seen before. Then there are those of you out there that I think ascribe to a lot of the things we say on this program, a lot of the thoughts and opinions that we have on this program of what opportunity actually is in front of the Arizona Cardinals in this offseason. A free agent class that matches up almost pitch perfectly to the Cardinals' needs on their roster. A quarterback with ties to the organization in more ways than one. A quarterback that is young enough to where if he is your answer, you don't have to worry about where you finish in 2026. You don't have to worry about the teams in front of you, the teams behind you that are armed with draft capital to move up. You don't have to worry about that because you have your guy. Very rarely do we see a free agency period, a free agency class that has a quarterback with the upside, the ceiling, the potential of a Malik Willis. Not to say that it is a guarantee that Malik Willis turns out to be a whole lot of anything, but very rarely are you presented with the type of opportunity that is presented in this offseason with Malik Willis. And so there are those of you out there that agree with me, that agree with some of the callers on this program, that think this team should be all in on rebuilding the offensive line, shouldn't be afraid on a 2 or a 3 year commitment to throw that dart throw, and hopefully you can hit bullseye with Malik Willis and build around Malik Willis a brand new offensive line and best player available at number 3 overall, maybe on the defensive side, perhaps another offensive lineman, but somebody that fills a need on this team and is one of the top blue chip players in this class to set up Mike LaFleur, to set up your brand new head coach. LaFleur. With at least a puncher's chance of being successful in year 1. That's what you want the next couple of chapters of Cardinals football to look like. And those are two conflicting ideas. Those are two conflicting visions of what this offseason, what this season should look like for this organization. I'm sorry. I look at the NFLPA report cards. I look at a GM that is firmly on the hot seat. I look at the opportunity cost of not doing something in this offseason, and I cannot sign on board with those of you that want the next couple of pages, the next couple of chapters of Cardinals football to include another awful, terrible, no good season. Because we've had a couple of them in recent memory under Jonathan Gannon. You're asking me willingly to sign on board with that. I can't do it. But guess what? Whether you agree or disagree with the vision that I want this team to follow this offseason, today feels like a good day to bring this up. We're going to get our answer. We are just before the sunrise on the answer to those questions. Because we'll know very early on next Monday. Are they actual players for Malik Willis? Are they really interested in going down that path? Because if they are, if they choose to go down the path of Malik Willis, they're telling you, we are not tanking. They are telling you we are not looking to win 2 or 3 games this season and be set up for a high draft pick in 2027. Now, it may work out that way because Malik Willis may not be a franchise quarterback. He might not be somebody that Mike LaFleur can build around. We don't know. But the intent of signing somebody like Malik Willis is the idea of competitiveness, the idea of putting a team on the field that maybe wins more of those close games, maybe stays healthy. Maybe they get the bounce of the health luck to go their way, the bounce of the football to go their way. And all of a sudden, this is a team that wins 8 games and is flirting with the idea of making the postseason. They sign Malik Willis. They go down that path. That's the vision. That's the intent. They are selling it. If they don't sign Malik Willis, if they keep Jacoby Brissett, if they make a small signing, another veteran to add to the room, perhaps those of you out there who are Team Tank, you're going to get your wish. But I know that we are going to get that answer sooner rather than later. A week from today. I won't be here next week. Going on vacation. Producer Evan will be filling in for me starting, I think, Tuesday next week. When he's here, when he's filling in, when he's doing this program, we'll know the answer to that question. And this may be one of the most important decisions we see this franchise make in a really long time. Maybe the most important decision that they will make, which of these paths they choose to go down since they selected Kyler Murray number 1 overall. They made that choice 1 year into Josh Rosen. We're going to pivot. We're going to go in a different direction. We're going to get a new head coach, brand new quarterback, right? That's what they chose to do. It set them on a course that has led us to this moment here today. I argue that the decision they make next Monday, because we know Kyler Murray's going. He's gone. What they do to fill that quarterback void, How they choose to approach it is a decision that I think has ramifications for years to come. I think which of these chapters they choose to begin writing next week will determine Monty's fate, Michael LaFleur's fate, could be short-lived. And I know that in 2028, there's a brand new building that's going to be built, a brand new training facility for the Arizona Cardinals. And I would argue that if they get this wrong, none of the people that enter that building in 2026, this summer for training camp, if they get this wrong, all of the power players outside of the owner probably won't make it to the opening of that building. That's how important of a decision I think this is going to be for this team. And it's one that is going to be made very soon. Within a week, we are going to know the answer to that question.
I've said this before. I think this is one of the most important off seasons you're going to look back to in 10 years from now and say this organization is where they are because, and in the 2026 offseason, they did this. Or they did that. That's how important this offseason is to me.
It's two paths. It's the path of tanking, which I know there are people that are listening or watching this show today that are fully on board with tanking. Fully on board with bottom this thing out. Doesn't matter what LaFleur does in year one. Get a good draft pick next year. Get the franchise quarterback. The franchise quarterback's not available at 3 this year. So do what you got to do to put yourself in a position to get a franchise quarterback next year. No to Malik Willis. No to trading for Anthony Richardson. No to trading for Mac Jones. None of it. I want a complete bottoming out of this squad. I know that there are those of you out there that believe that. And then I know there are those of you out there that are excited by the idea of Malik Willis. You don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to work. But I certainly would rather try with Malik Willis than to openly admit we're not trying in 2026. That's a tough sell to a fan base that's been through a lot. I don't know how there are those of you out there that are advocating for this when you've watched a lot of bad football for a really long time. How you could willingly sign up for another season of bad football. I would want my team to turn over every stone, even if it's marginally, to get better. That's the decision that faces this franchise, and it's one now. Maybe they get into a bidding war for Malik Willis, and he chooses Miami, or he picks Cleveland. Those are a couple of the other teams that have been rumored to be in the mix here. But they tried, and it didn't work out, and so now they pivot to plan B. We'll see. We'll see what next week looks like. I just know for me, the direction, the chapters that I want written are one that include a major dart throw of Malik Willis. Because I understand the risk, and I really don't think it's as risky as people are presenting. All the talk last week at the Combine was how the Cardinals are linked to Malik Willis. That link, everywhere you turned last week, you heard about it. Next week, we'll know how true that link was. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also chat away with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. We got people taking sides. Brian from Chandler, if you're asking me to take sides, sign me up on Team Tank. I know there are those of you out there that hear me talk about Malik Willis, hear me lay out that plan, and you want nothing to do with it. You are firmly on Team Tank. I get it. I respect it. I see where you're coming from. It's just not something I can sign up for. I can't in March sign up for, hey, who cares about football next year? Can't do it. I'll never be that guy. I will never completely torpedo a season in March. Just won't do it. But I understand why you feel that way. And for both sides, we're going to find out here next Monday who's right, who's wrong, and what direction this organization picks. When we come back, he's having a pretty great spring. Is he going to force the Diamondbacks' hand? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
I'm not here to bury Mike Tomlin, but the fact is, this absolutely is the right move. He did the right thing, and he fired himself. All good things come to an end. Going a decade without winning a single playoff game is not meeting the standard.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Stained. Break the Cycle 25th Anniversary Tour. Featuring Seether. Stained. October 13th. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. With special guests, Hoobastank and Hinder. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Part of the America First Credit Union series.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
Meineke's highly skilled and certified technicians always treat your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care using the best state-of-the-art equipment. You can always depend on Meineke to do the job right and get you back on the road in no time. Save time and schedule an appointment now. Visit Meineke.com today. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
The Valley of the Sun will roar to life this spring.
This ought to get pretty wild here.
Why is that, you may ask? Because NASCAR and the NTT IndyCar Series are coming to Phoenix. And it's going to be a weekend of good vibes the whole family won't forget. The best-in-class fan experience meets racing's toughest drivers for 3 days of action on and off the track, all surrounded by the beautiful Estrella Mountains. NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway, March 5th through the 8th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
Jerome here with your Rome Report. Hate to beat a dead horse. Sure I don't. But that thud that you may have heard last night was the underachieving Lakers hitting rock bottom after losing to the undermanned Sad Sack Suns. What a terrible loss by a team that had to have that game. They never play up and beat the teams above them, and now they no-show and lose to the teams beneath them. And again, easy to see why. They defend nobody. Luka and LeBron do not fit together, and they've got no sense of urgency, no heart, and no grit. And how about DeAndre Ayton's absurd comment that they want me to be Clint Capella, but I ain't no Clint Capella? No, you ain't, big fella, but they wish you were. Nice job, though, returning to Phoenix and finishing with all of 2 points. Way to send a statement. Way to man up. Not only is this team one and done, they're now a play-in team, and they make me embarrassed to be an LA native. Do better, dudes. I'm Jim Rome.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
When your average fan goes to an NBA game, it doesn't matter if it's game 1 or game 82. Everyone healthy should be on the court getting 110% max effort. We've seen what a player like Victor Wembanyama could do to a franchise. All the greatest of the greats, when they hit the franchise, their team becomes an instant playoff team. I hate when players that are healthy are not playing in a regular season game.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
It's WBC week. I think we can round of applause for that.
How exciting is that?
WBC gets underway, I believe, Thursday night is our first action of the WBC.
Yeah, let me pull up the first game here.
The Team USA, I believe, is already in town here, ready to go, getting their practices underway.
But I think all their games are in Florida or Houston.
I don't know exactly where their group is. I can pull up the official WBC website and tell you exactly where they're at. But they are getting ready to get underway here.
Yeah, the Czech plays at Korea, and Australia plays at Czech.
Yeah, so that's
I don't understand how that works, but they're both on Thursday.
Our first game is 10 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. So Chinese Taipei plays Australia on Wednesday at 10 p.m. And then
why am I not seeing that game?
And then Thursday, there's a pair of games.
Oh, I got it now.
You feel better now?
Yeah, the schedule's set up weird.
And the U.S., their first game's against Brazil. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern, so 6 p.m. for us. That's Friday, and they are in Houston. So Wednesday, our first game of the WBC, 10 p.m. Eastern, so 8 p.m. for us out here on the East Coast or on the West Coast. And I have to decide what I want to do about those Thursday games. 5 a.m. Eastern, so that's 3 a.m. Am I getting up early for that one?
No.
You don't know me. Don't speak for me. I might get up that early. My alarm normally goes off at 4:30. It's not really that different, but I'm going to be up pretty late watching the other game that starts at 8. So that's where it gets a little.
That's what I'm saying.
That's where it gets a little weird.
We got a late game this week.
I know. I just love baseball. Okay, and I'm ready to watch as much baseball as humanly possible. Speaking of baseball, it was Diamondbacks in action in spring training over the weekend, and it was another good day for a prospect named Ryan Waldschmidt. Another great day at the office. 3 for 3, 2 doubles, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. And how about this on his 3 hits? A double, 106.9 exit velo. His second double of the game, a 111.2 exit velo. And then the single that he hit had a 112.1 mile per hour exit velo. Not only is he playing great in spring, and I know it's spring, let's not overreact to spring statistics. But in the 20 plate appearances that he's had in spring, he's got 6 hits. He's got 3 doubles. He's got a home run. He's hitting .316. He's driven in 5 RBIs. He's drawn a walk. He's hitting .316, like I mentioned, with a on-base percentage of .350, a slugging of .632. So if you do some quick math, that is a .982 OPS so far in his 20 at-bats in spring. And he has been the talk of town. The Diamondbacks sent a couple of guys or cut a couple of guys from their spring training roster, reassigned them to minor league camp. Ryan Waldschmidt not among them, so still staying with the team. And so that leads to this question. Is there a world? And by the way, he's making great plays defensively. Made a diving, sliding catch out in the outfield. The question is, can he force the Diamondbacks' hand? He's their top prospect in the system. He plays a position of need for this team right now in the outfield. He's 23 years old. He's the top prospect in the system. He's living up to the billing. Can he force their hand and make them include him on the opening day roster? Is 20 at-bats so far enough to force the Diamondbacks to put him on the roster? Now, this would be a very easy question to answer if you had some established guys out in the outfield. Lourdes Gurriel's healthy. Corbin Carroll's healthy. This is a no-brainer. Yep, he's great. He's ready, but we don't have a spot for him. We're not going to call him up to not play. We can gain the additional year of service time and still have him contribute to this team at some point during the year. So we're going to play the service time manipulation game. And so he's going to start the first, 6 to 8 weeks down in the minors. And the moment that we accrue that year, he'll get called up and we'll find a way to play him every single day. Whether he's the DH, he's playing out in the outfield, we'll find a spot for him, right? It'd be easy if they had 3 established big league outfielders. Doesn't matter how well he's playing in spring, we don't got a spot for him, right? It would be easy. The Diamondbacks have a very unique challenge right now. Corbin Carroll, is he going to be ready for opening day? Is he not going to be ready for opening day? The signs are pointing towards him being ready, but up in the air. Your center field position. Alec Thomas is having a great spring. He may save me from 245 wings if he can have a good first couple months of the season. And by the way, we ordered wings in the house over the weekend. I ordered chicken strips from the place that we got the wings. There was a mix-up in the order. So I gave the chicken strips to my daughter. I had her wings because she doesn't like eating wings on the bone. And as I was eating the wings, the wife turned to me and said, "Little preview, huh?" So now I'm getting trolled at home from the wife about the bet. She's like, how are you doing? Because I ate a total of 6 wings. Now, I will tell you, it was
how'd the 6 feel?
It was just one meal because I had a chicken strip and a half before realizing the mistake on the wings.
Okay.
So a chicken strip and a half plus the 6 wings. I felt like I could have had a couple more.
Okay.
So I feel kind of good. Now, that was one meal. How are we going to feel when it's every meal of every day for 10 days?
But
the
knowing
early
that you
returns-
could have had
Oh, yeah.
a couple more, plus let's call the chicken strip and a half. Let's call that 2 wings. So, like, let's say you could eat 10 wings in a sitting.
I felt like 10 wings in a sitting was more than okay.
So, in reality, you only need to do that 2 times a day.
And the other time can be 5 wings.
And then you just need to break up the 5 throughout. So maybe it's 11 wings in a sitting and you find a spot for 3.
And by the way, these wings, lemon pepper and garlic parm. We had a lot of...
You know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to make sure you're not doing fried wings.
Do grilled wings?
Grilled wings.
The fried wings were okay.
I know, but I just think over time, like, it's going to catch up to you faster.
I think mixing them up is going to be very important. And or Alec Thomas can just hit 300 for the first 2 months of the season and save me from all of this.
Not going to happen.
But okay, to get back on track, he's out there in center field. He's having a good spring, but he's not a lock to be the everyday center fielder for 162 games. He's a young player that is still developing. Left field, Lourdes Gurriel is supposedly ahead of schedule coming off of the torn knee, but you just don't know. And so it's a little more fluid. We're kind of living more in the gray area a little bit to where Ryan Waldschmidt can come along. He can have a great spring. He can hit the ball extremely hard. And those are the things you look at, not just the results. You look at, are you hitting the ball hard? Is your exit velo up? Is your launch angle where it's supposed to be? Is the under the hood stuff?
I'm a huge nerd.
Is that stuff showing the types of metrics that you see from a big leaguer? And so far, Ryan Waldschmidt is showing all of those signs. So it makes it a little more difficult for this team. Now, unfortunately, nobody's going to want to hear this today because everybody wants Ryan Waldschmidt on this opening day roster. Let me tell you something. I don't think he's going to be on the opening day roster. Alec Thomas is playing well enough in spring to say, hey, he's our center fielder. Your right field, Corbin Carroll, all signs are looking like he's going to be available to go on opening day. And so now you've got 2 of your 3 outfield spots. And listen, they're going to give Jordan Lawler every chance. Now, that's the spot I would pay attention to. Because if Jordan Lawler gets an opportunity to make this team and start in left field while Lourdes Gurriel is out, if he struggles and Waldschmidt's tearing the cover off the ball, there's going to be a conversation about Waldschmidt replacing Lawler. This is the top prospect in the system. And when you're dealing with the top prospect in the system, they kind of force your hand a little bit. And certainly, Ryan Waldschmidt is forcing the Diamondbacks to at least have the conversation. Mike Hazen and Torey Lovullo have to look at each other and say, what are we going to do about this? They don't have a built-in excuse. There isn't an easy reason for them to say, hey, we're sending him down. They actually have to have the tough conversations. We are going to have some of those tough conversations. Ryan Waldschmidt is forcing them to do that. I just don't know if it's going to be enough to make this team. Do I want it? Yes. Do I think he's one of the 3 best outfielders healthy that the Diamondbacks have right now? I do. But it's not always that cut and dry. They're going to want to have the extra year of service time. They know Lourdes Gurriel is going to come back at some point. They probably want to give Alec Thomas some level of run. It isn't as clear a picture as you think, but he's making it even more difficult than it already is. So credit to him. He's having a great spring. He's hitting the ball hard. And remember, I don't want to be this guy, but there was somebody out there who hosts a radio show from the hours of 11 to 1, perhaps maybe on this station, who in the wintertime said, this dude can make the team. I said in the winter, they don't need to sign an outfielder if they don't want. And the reason why they might not is because Ryan Waldschmidt can make this team. And here we are talking about a guy who went 3 for 3 yesterday, hit the ball hard in all 3 at-bats, and is almost going to force the Diamondbacks in. So something to keep an eye on, especially now that a bunch of Diamondbacks are off to the winter meeting, to the WBC. How about this? Ketel Marte, Nolan Arenado, Drew Jones, Yumin Lee, Christian Robinson, Eduardo Rodriguez, Mike Soroka, Alec Thomas, all away playing with their respective WBC squads. And again, that gets underway Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, the first game of the WBC. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, yes, he had a great combine. Yes, he's a great player. No, the Arizona Cardinals shouldn't take him at number 3. We'll talk about it next. The Lunch Break, KDUS, AM 1060.
The roar of the NTT IndyCar Series is back.
Robert Wickett, your leader, in for his final stop of the night. These guys haven't made a mistake, but a little problem with the right rear.
Take a look
They're side by side. Joseph Newgarden has made the pass.
Listen to the NTT IndyCar Series at Phoenix Raceway, live this Saturday.
12:30 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060.
The Avett Brothers and Mike Patton present Avett Patton performing live at Arizona Financial Theater, May 12th. Avett Patton. On sale now at livenation.com.
Every day begins with the promise of something new, a new perspective, a fresh start. At Banner Health, right here, right now, we're pioneering new ways to treat cancer with our own immune systems. We're among the first to treat Parkinson's with the patient's own cells. And we're a world leader in artificial heart implantation, all while training over 1,300 doctors every year. Impressive, right? It's just another Banner day. Banner Health.
If you've been disappointed by underachieving savings, a high-yield certificate from America First can be a fantastic way to help your money start doing more. Whether you're planning for an upcoming expense or just want to save smarter and earn bigger, America First's flexible certificates are an outstanding way to grow your cash. So don't wait to get your money working. Head to americafirst.com and open a high-yield certificate today. Membership eligibility terms, conditions, and change apply. Fees could reduce account earnings. Federally insured by NCUA.
Santana, Oneness Tour 2026. The power, the energy. Come celebrate your favorite hits from Woodstock to Supernatural and beyond. With very special guest, the Doobie Brothers. Friday, August 14th, Mortgage Matchup Center. On sale now at livenation.com. Santana and Doobie Brothers, Oneness Tour 2026.
Monument Valley? Check. Grand Canyon? Check. Sedona? Check. Camelback? Check. Think you've seen it all in Arizona? Well, if you haven't been fishing, you haven't seen a thing. From ponds and reservoirs to rivers and lakes, our state has no shortage of ways to cast a line for beginners and pros. And a fishing license is your passport to all of them. Get your license at azgfd.gov and discover a whole new way to see Arizona.
Ready to refresh your space for less? At Living Spaces, thoughtful design and direct sourcing keep prices low while quality stays high. With sofas starting at just $295, queen beds from $195, and dining sets from just $295. Updating every room is within reach. Plus, enjoy fast, free shipping as soon as next day. So your new favorites arrive without the wait. Your next piece is waiting only at Living Spaces.
Living Spaces.
Postseason play begins for ASU women's basketball right here on KDUS AM 1060. The Lady Sun Devils have fought hard all season long and are ready to show off their skills in postseason play against the Wildcats of the U of A this Wednesday. Join Jeff Munn on the call live. It's round one of the Phillips 66 Big 12 women's basketball tournament between ASU and the University of Arizona. Pregame at 4 p.m. and tip-off at 4:30 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS app.
Producer Evan, how much of the NFL Combine did you watch over the weekend? You big Combine guy? Got to have it on the second screen all weekend long?
Most main screen for me.
It got the main screen. It got the big TV.
Yeah, I'm a Combine guy.
I didn't get the tablet or the cell phone.
No.
It got center stage.
It got center stage.
I was keeping an eye on it. I will admit I was watching some soccer early Saturday morning. And when the Combine rolled around, I was kind of keeping tabs on things on my phone and seeing some of the highlights. And one player whose Combine on Saturday really kind of set the gears in motion for a social media pandemonium is the only way to describe it, is what Jeremiah Love, running back out of Notre Dame, did when he took to the field and ran a 4.36 40-yard dash. That is the second best mark among running backs at this year's Combine. It tied the number that Jahmyr Gibbs ran in the 2023 Combine. And how about this? You want the ultimate version of this drop?
I'm a huge nerd.
How about this for you? Next Gen Stats has this doozy for us. Jeremiah Love recorded an official 4.36 40 at this year's combine. The fastest time among running backs with a 90-plus next-gen stats production score over the last 10 years. Love now holds a 94 overall score, tied with Sonny Styles for highest in this year's class. And remember the gushing that we did on this program about Sonny Styles on Friday, about how great he looked at the combine. Jeremiah Love put himself in that same stratosphere. And so what happened? What did that do? Everybody tripping over themselves Saturday and Sunday. Everybody wanted to be the first person to share this take out loud. Everybody wanted to have the receipts ready to go if it happens in April. Because everybody wants the Arizona Cardinals to take Jeremiah Love number 3 overall. Everybody wants the offensive-minded head coach Mike LaFleur to pound the rock and take one of the most productive running backs that you're going to see in this year's class, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, 1,372 yards last year, 1,125 yards the year before that, 35 touchdowns over the last 2 seasons, 21 total scrimmage touchdowns last year. The best running back in this class, to some, one of the top 5 overall players in this class. Everybody wants Mike LaFleur and Monty to run to the podium and take Jeremiah Love number 3 overall in the 2026 NFL Draft. And let me be on record with the receipts to tell you how stupid of an idea that would be. The Arizona Cardinals have about 400 needs on their roster. A running back is not one of them. They may cut James Conner. They may need to get a running back in free agency. But you are going to tell a team that right now, as we sit here, needs 3 starting offensive linemen, needs a new quarterback, probably needs another wide receiver, needs a safety, needs a linebacker, needs another edge rusher. You're going to tell that franchise that they need to take a running back number 3 overall? The Arizona Cardinals are not ready for a running back. You take a running back inside the top 5 when most of your roster is ready. You either, because you traded for a pick or you had injuries kind of plague you for a season, you just kind of find your way into the top 5 and you have the luxury. You know who could take Jeremiah Love as a luxury? The Kansas City Chiefs inside the top 10. They have the luxury of saying, you know what? We've got the quarterback. We can take the luxury pick here. We've got a decent offensive line. We've got a quarterback. We really need to beef up our running game. So we're going to take Jeremiah Love inside the top 10 because we're not going to be here next year. So we can roll the dice. We can take a chance, right? You can do that. When you're the Arizona Cardinals, you're telling me right now, if the draft were held today, knowing what you know about the Arizona Cardinals and their needs, you would feel comfortable with them taking a running back number 3 overall? Did you watch the team play in the second half last year? Did you watch the offensive line? Now, if I'm going to give myself an exit ramp, I may be more okay with this if they sign 3 starting offensive linemen in free agency, if they get the quarterback in free agency, if they get an edge rusher in free agency or via a trade. If their roster is completely different when we get to draft night, perhaps I'd be more inclined to entertain this. But right now, everybody's running to the podium. Take Jeremiah Love, number 3 overall. It can't really? You've got 2 of the 5 pillar positions completely wide open, quarterback and edge, I would say. I know Paris Johnson Jr. is a good left tackle. We don't know if he's a great left tackle, but I think it's good enough to say that they've got that.
A left tackle.
They've got a left tackle. And I know Josh Sweat's good, but I'm looking toward the future as well there. And do they have a wide receiver 1? You may throw that in there as well. So I will add it all up to they need 2 5-pillar positions, however they want to get there. You want to take a running back? And then I saw a tweet this morning of sign Tyler Algier. We're fans of that on this program. And then take Jeremiah Love number 3 overall. So you're going to spend money on the position while you've got Trey Benson on the team. They haven't cut James Conner yet. And you're going to take a running back at number 3 overall. What are we doing?
That makes 0 sense.
What are we doing? Jeremiah Love is a great player. Jeremiah Love would make the Arizona Cardinals a better football team. But if he doesn't have a line to run behind, it doesn't matter how talented he is. It doesn't matter that he had 1,000-yard seasons each of the last 2 years in Notre Dame. And Jeremiah Love is going to make some team really, really good. I just don't think it's the Arizona Cardinals, at least not currently constructed. If all of a sudden the Cardinals can trade Kyler Murray's $30 million contract and have $70 million in cap space, and they get Malik Willis, and they sign 3 starting offensive linemen, and they take a flyer on an edge that we like, and now they're sitting there with the number 3 overall pick, and you feel like they're mostly improved at the important positions, sure. Let's have a conversation about Jeremiah Love. I don't expect us to get to draft night and feel like the Cardinals have their edge of the future, have their quarterback of the future, have their offensive lineman of the future. And when I say these things, I mean all of them at once, because that's the position you need to be in to take a running back inside the top 5. The Giants did this. They took Saquon Barkley. Where did it get them? The Cowboys did this. They drafted Ezekiel Elliott. Where did it get them? The jury's still out. The Raiders did this with Ashton Genty. Where has it gotten them so far?
It doesn't work out.
The Panthers took Christian McCaffrey. Where they took him. They had to trade him. They gave him the big contract, and then they traded him. You have to be extremely ready for a running back at number 3. And right now, the Arizona Cardinals are not ready.
It is a win-now move for a team that is not ready to win now.
What do you think the Venn diagram overlap is between those who are in Team Tank and those who want Jeremiah Love at number 3 overall? Do you think there's overlap between the people who think these two things?
Yes. Ton.
Jeremiah Love is not a Team Tank move. Because if Jeremiah Love is as good as you say he is to be the number 3 overall pick.
He buys you, 2 wins?
He's right. On his own, he's going to be worth 2 or 3 wins. In addition to a roster that's going to be probably healthier next year, and they're going to have some breaks go their way. So you're going to play yourself out of that. And again, I think there's a lot of overlap between those two communities. I don't want to talk bad about Jeremiah Love. He's a great player. What I like in a vacuum, would I like him on the Cardinals? Yes. If the Cardinals wanted to trade out of 3, pick up an additional day 2 pick, and then take him at like 8 or 10,
okay,
I can maybe start to wrap my head around that.
I still wouldn't love it.
This team has needs at blue chip positions. They need an edge rusher. Would Arvell Reese or Reuben Bain impact this team more than Jeremiah Love would?
Yes. It's not even close.
You want to do the positional value thing, and that's kind of the point I'm getting at from positional value. I'd rather Sonny Styles than Jeremiah Love. And you don't take a linebacker inside the top 10. But I'd rather that because it's actually a position of need for the Cardinals. Well, more so than running back. To me, if they and by the way, Monty doesn't take guys outside of the SEC or the Big Ten in the first round. Last time I checked, Notre Dame not in the Big Ten or the SEC. Or the SEC or the Big Ten. Not in either of those conferences. Independent that masquerades as an ACC team for football. He ran the 4.36 40. He had a great year last year. Everybody couldn't stop themselves from campaigning for Jeremiah Love to be the pick at number 3. I got Benjamin Albright on social media for maybe about 40 minutes before we went on the air. Put out here's what I think would happen in the NFL draft if the draft was held today. Had Jeremiah Love number 3 to the Cardinals. I can't tell you how against that I would be. Right now, knowing what we know about this team. Let's see if the team proves me wrong next week with how they spend their free agency dollars. But right now, I can't see a world where they get to draft night not having a major need at one of the key positions that's going to be available for them at number 3 overall. To just throw that all the way to take a running back, to me, would be foolish.
Makes no sense.
Foolish. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us. You can also hang out with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. Our guy Code says there are people out there that simply can't differentiate real-world football from fantasy football. I do think that is somewhat of what's going on here. Jeremiah Love is a great player. He's going to make a team better. But you have to, when you are picking inside the top 5 and the top 10, you have to consider the value. You have to consider what your needs are. You want the best player available at a position of need when you pick inside the top 10. Overall, I'm a believer in draft good players. Draft good players. But to draft a running back when there are comparable good to great players at positions that you need, it would be a tough pill to swallow. When we come back, speaking of the Combine, how did some ASU Sun Devils do this weekend at the Combine? We'll talk about that next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
Indiana is not cheating. Lining up and punching the other guy in the face for 60 minutes, not against the rules. I challenge any of your social media whistleblowers to tell Kurt Signetti to his face that he is a cheater.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Florence and the Machine presents the Everybody Scream Tour. Live at Desert Diamond Arena, Saturday, May 9th. The incomparable Florence and the Machine returns. With special guest, Mannequin Pussy. On sale now at livenation.com. The new album, Everybody Scream, available now.
Everybody Scream.
Try the Chicken Melt Trio at Port of Subs. Protein packed with bold sauces and built to crush cravings. Order now at portofsubs.com.
Sliced fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
Your dental health affects your whole body's wellness. Got a broken tooth or need a crown? At Arizona Crown Center, you can expect care focused on crowns and bridges for just $6.99 per tooth, including your x-ray. That's less than half the usual cost. With Arizona Crown Center, expect top quality, efficient treatment backed by a 3-year unconditional guarantee, and even same-day service. They keep it simple and affordable, so you can enjoy the foods you love without worry. Plus, their friendly team makes every visit comfortable and easy. Whether it's your first crown or replacing an old one, they personalize your care to fit you. That's something to really smile about. Don't live with discomfort. Visit azcrowncenter.com for your free consultation today. Serving the Valley for over 20 years with offices in Chandler, Surprise, and Prescott. Get premium dental crowns and bridges at a price that fits your budget. azcrowncenter.com. That's azcrowncenter.com. Your smile's best friend.
You may think you know drag racing, the chills, the speed, iconic moments, but this season, it hits different. 75 years in the making. The crowd's locked in, waiting for that moment. The moment of realizing you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Whether you're a longtime fan or feeling earth-shaking horsepower for the first time, you're part of the story now. Expect the unexpected March 20th through 22nd when NHRA roars into Phoenix. Get tickets at NHRA.com today.
Meineke always treats your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke's certified technicians will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care. Schedule an appointment at Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
It's the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series GovX 200 event at Phoenix Raceway.
The NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series.
Here they come down to the line. Green flag goes in the air.
Heads west to the desert.
And they're wrecking in turn 3. Around goes Williams-Sawalich
to race under the lights at Phoenix Raceway.
For the final time, Austin Hill has dominated Daytona. Austin Hill yet again will win at Daytona.
It's the GovX 200.
This Saturday, 5 p.m. on AM 1060 KDUS.
Producer Evan really wanted to talk about the Sun Devils at the Combine to close up hour number 1 of the show.
All right.
What? This was your idea in the morning meeting.
This was, but to say I really wanted to talk about it. We were looking for segments. I was like,
let's pull the curtain back, tell everybody how this came to be. We were discussing what to do on the show today. We had a couple of ideas, and I hope that it kind of is obvious with the way we put the show together. We very rarely like to talk about the same team in back-to-back segments. We like to break it up over the course of a show. Now, there are times where there's a story big enough to where it requires to basically be the whole show. Jonathan Gannon getting fired, the Suns, Jordan Ott, like those types of things warrant, multiple different segments back to back. So we were figuring out, okay, we got the Cardinals, we're going to put them here, here, and here. And you were like, well, we're talking about the Sun Devils and how they did at the Combine. So I was like, great, we'll put that in there at 11:45. So which of the Sun Devils do you want me to start with?
I think maybe the winner for the Sun Devils.
Because there was one person who helped themselves tremendously this week.
Maxi Honchar.
He to me, cemented himself as a first-round player.
I agree.
I think Maxi Honchar is going to hear his name called in the back part of the first round in April. He had a really good combine, ran the third fastest 40 time out of the offensive lineman.
Yeah, a 4.91.
So tied with somebody else at 4.91, and there was one
at 4.90.
Center out of Iowa.
Correct.
Ran a 4.90, so one of the fastest times at the 40. Didn't bench towards the top, but didn't, wasn't no slouch at the bench press.
He didn't hurt himself at the bench, but he didn't help himself.
So he was a player that was already, I think, a fringe first rounder, showing off the speed. And the most important thing, outside of, testing well in the areas that everybody thinks you're going to test well in, is how you conduct yourself in the interviews. And I think Maxi Hanator is going to knock that out of the park. And I think the 40 time, I think the bench press, I think him already being a fringe first round pick, I think he's going to find himself into the first round. Now, the other player that's worth noting here to me is Jordan Tyson, because he did one thing the whole weekend.
Only did one event.
Now, he met with a bunch of teams, and I have been on record saying that the most important thing for Jordan Tyson is the medical report that they do at the combine.
Correct.
And what that showed, because that's going to be the ticket to whether or not he's a top 10 pick or not. If that medical record that gets sent around to the league is a good medical record, if it doesn't show any long-term issues, I think he's a top 10 pick.
We're going to see him as a climber or a faller here. I think he's going to move either way. A lot of people have him mocked at like 14 to the Ravens. I've seen quite a few times. Depending on how that medical report comes back is where we'll see a lot of Jordan Tyson movement.
Yeah, if it comes back and it's good, you're going to see a lot of talk of him, being mocked inside the top 10. And this is where you got to pay attention to those insiders, right? The Mel Kiper Jr.'s, the Todd McShay's, the Daniel Jeremiah's, the Dane Brugler's, the people that are going to talk to those inside the league. They'll get a sense of what those medicals say, right? We'll get a feeling based on where Jordan Tyson is mocked here over the coming weeks, what those medical records said. If it's a good thing, I think he's going to be a top 10. If they showed some signs of worry, that's where he starts to fall, and he may not be the first receiver taken in this draft class. Him not doing anything this weekend didn't hurt him. It's the medicals that are going to hurt him.
That was my next question. Does it hurt him?
I don't think so.
I do think in the one event he did, which was the bench, 26 reps. One, he did beat Maxi Hanator with 26 reps.
Max did 25, right?
Yeah. And two, it is one away. I believe DK Metcalf has the receiver record at 27.
Showing off that strength. And you know what he can do when you throw on the tape, right? I mean, it's one of the easiest evaluations you're going to do from a tape perspective. The dude can run any route in the tree. He's got smooth hands. He can float in the air, apparently, because I've seen him do it a number of times. Where I
was really upset he did not. I would have loved to have seen his vertical.
Yeah, I mean, he probably would have been able to float all the way to the top and hit.
Because he stays in the air an absurd amount of time.
Oh, it's incredible. What game was it? I think it was the Texas State game
last year. Or this year?
No, the Texas State game this year,
yeah.
where Sam Leavitt rolls out to his left and he throws the ball to Jordan Tyson, who jumps early.
I was going to say who certainly mistimed it.
But is just, for whatever reason, able to just float in the air long enough to be able to make the play. One of the most incredible things I've ever seen.
He's coming back down from the peak of his jump.
And then just levitates.
And is still on top of this corner by a foot.
So you know the special player that he is on tape. And so him not running a 40 time, you don't need to see it. You can see the speed on tape. You can see the hands on tape. You can see the route running on tape. You can see the physicality on tape, right? What you need to know, and the meetings will help with this, but the medical reports, you just got to know his health. You have to know what his health is, because if you're worried about him being on and off the field and not being able to give you, 16, 17 games every year, you can't take him inside the top 10, right? You just can't do it. You can't take a player inside the top 10 and the question be, how available is this player? It's the only knock. So Maxi Hanator helped himself out in a big way, and I don't think Jordan Tyson hurt himself. The medical records, that's going to be the key for him. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. We got a jam-packed hour number 2. What did we learn about the Arizona Cardinals at the Combine? Are the Suns about to get their guy back tomorrow night? Kick off hour number 2 with a little buy or sell next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. Join the excitement at Salt River Field as spring training is here. Don't miss out on the thrill of the ballgame. Single game tickets now available. Get your tickets today at saltriverfields.com and be a part of the action. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, everything can change fast. That's when the attorneys at Sweet James step in. They help you understand your rights, connect you with medical care, and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to. You don't pay anything unless your case is resolved successfully, and help is available 24 hours a day. If you've been injured, call Sweet James for a free case review. Hablamos Español. 800-900-0000. 800-900-0000. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tech-Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
I get by with a little help from my friends.
Ringo Starr and his all-star band. With friends, Steve Lukather from Toto. From Men at Work, Colin Hay. From Average White Band, Hamish Stewart. Friday, June 12th, 7:30 p.m., Yamage Auditorium. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Produced by Danny Zalesko Presents.
You won't believe everything I just saw. I went to Disneyland, and it was the 70th celebration. First, I went to Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Live, and I danced with Goofy. At night, I saw this parade. Everything was glowing. Sorcerer Mickey was there, and Lightning McQueen. Oh, then I went to this giant water show with all the Inside Out characters. And I was like, whoa. And then my parents were like, whoa. Oh, and guess what? Bluey and Bingo are coming for real life.
Make memories that last a lifetime during the 70th celebration with Paint the Night Parade, World of Color Happiness, and Bluey's Best Day Ever. Coming soon. Save with Good Neighbor Hotel packages starting at $164 per person per night on select days through March 31st, 2026. For a party of 4 adults, including 2-day, 1-park-per-day tickets and a 3-night stay at a select Good Neighbor Hotel in a deluxe room. Total price $1,960. Visit Disneyland.com/Good Neighbor Hotels for details.
Jumbo Shrimp is back at Del Taco. One bite of Del's Jumbo Shrimp Taco, and yeah, you're on a whole different level of flavor. Top tier, no notes. Crispy golden shrimp, crunchy cabbage, fresh house-made pico de gallo, and savory secret sauce, all wrapped up in a warm flour tortilla with a fresh-cut lime wedge. And right now, get 2 for just $6. They're only here for a limited time, so level up with 2 crispy jumbo shrimp tacos for $6. Only at Del Taco.
Del, yeah.
Price and participation may vary.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hour number 2 of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. For Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out with you today on the program. Got a jam-packed week here on KDUS AM 1060. We got NAU's regular season finale tonight. We've got ASU women's basketball in their run in the Big 12 tournament. That gets underway on Wednesday. A whole lot of motorsport, NASCAR, IndyCar action over the weekend that we'll get you ready for as we get closer and closer. Lots of ASU baseball over the weekend. A lot of stuff going on here on KDUS AM 1060. But right now, time for a little buy or sell.
It's buy or sell. Ryan Waldschmidt will make the opening day roster.
I will sell this take. Corbin Carroll looks like he's going to be ready for opening day in right field.
You don't think there's any chance Waldschmidt would make the roster even with Carroll healthy?
To do what? To be in what role?
Could he get me till Lourdes comes back?
So he's going to be your starting left
fielder.
All right.
Yeah, plays center.
I know you're going to hate this because you think he's the worst player in all of Major League Baseball. Alec Thomas has played well enough this spring to be the opening day center field.
You might be right.
So we're talking Alec Thomas in center. I mean, I think it's a lock that Alec Thomas is the starting center fielder. Corbin, if healthy, is going to be the right fielder, obviously. So it leaves left field. So you have two options. You got Ryan Waldschmidt or Jordan Lawler. And if you're going to make it Ryan Waldschmidt, what do you do with Jordan Lawler?
It's a good question.
Because you know what that means then. You know where Jordan Lawler goes. He goes to Reno, and we do
the same thing over again.
The same song and dance that we did last year.
Ryan Waldschmidt's going to hit 900 in Reno.
So is Jordan Lawler.
The WBC helps players more than spring training.
Yeah, I would buy this take. I mean, you're just playing super competitive ball. Sorry, I'm sorry. The reason why I just left that out there is because I pulled up Jordan Lawler's spring statistics.
Okay.
He's hitting 333 in spring.
Is he 1 for 3?
Okay. He's had 18 at bats. He's 4 for 18. He has 2 home runs, 2 RBIs. He's drawn 6 walks.
Okay. He's 4 for 18.
And he's 4 for 18. I'm sorry.
That's not right.
Sorry. He has 18 plate appearances. He's 4 for 12.
Okay.
Please.
I was like,
Sorry. I read it out of order. My apologies.
No, sorry.
So it's not like Ryan Waldschmidt's playing great in spring and Jordan Lawler's not. They're both playing really well. So I think the tie is going to go to Jordan Lawler.
Sonny Styles was the biggest draft climber at the Combine.
Trying to think if there's anybody. You said climber, right?
Yeah. I think Jeremiah Love was a climber too, but I just don't know how far he got.
I think Ruben Bain's the biggest faller if we were looking at, the people who moved the most. Like, I don't think Ruben Bain helped himself. David Bailey had a good week.
He did. He had a really good week.
And the thing that's going to help David Bailey is he came in at the right measurables, and Ruben Bain
did not.
I would agree with you that Sonny Styles had the best week and is the biggest climber because I think he firmly cemented himself. I think he's a top 6 pick right now.
I think so too.
The Jets could take him at 2.
I think we're going to see him go in the top 5.
The Cardinals could take him at 3. Do that over Jeremiah Love any day of the week, please. The Titans could take him at 4. And the Giants could take him at 5.
I think your versatility of what you're able to do with Sonny Styles too.
Is Sonny Styles not the perfect John Harbaugh player?
He really is.
Like, people are going to be kicking themselves when John Harbaugh ends up with Sonny Styles in New York. I know it's still a top 5 pick, but you're going to be mad at the Cardinals and the Jets.
I still have to adjust to that. In my head, it was like he's not getting to the Ravens at 14 now.
If he got to the Ravens at 14.
But I just have to adjust that John Harbaugh, not the coach of the Ravens
but you
anymore.
know who is the coach? A defensive guy in Jesse Minter. So he may run the card in himself.
Yeah, he would run it in. It'd be a full sprint.
So yeah, I think Sonny Styles is going to be a top 6 pick in the 2026 NFL draft.
I tend to agree. If Jordan Lawler struggles early in the year, the D-backs will look to trade him.
Sell.
You think they're past that point?
You just don't trade a guy when he's at his lowest value, right? And so if he struggles again,
he would be at his lowest value.
You're not getting anything for him. And so what he then becomes, the either next winter he's a piece of part of a larger trade and he's not the centerpiece like he would have been in years past, or you just draw up the perfect failed prospect for failed prospect change of scenery move that we see in baseball all the time.
Those are awesome.
That's what he ends up becoming. You hold on to him until that type of move opens up, and then you make it. But no, if he struggles again, he'll just get sent down to Reno, and he can hit 477 down there. And we'll figure it out later.
Kyler Murray will be traded by Friday.
Sell. I don't think Kyler Murray gets traded.
Does he get cut by Friday?
You think Friday news dump Kyler Murray gets cut? Boy, I got to tell you right now, you're not here on Friday.
I'm not.
I'm doing a 2-hour solo show because of the way ASU women's basketball breaks down. It's not going to be 1 hour. We thought it might have. If ASU runs the table, they'll be playing Friday night. 2 hours. If I do 2 hours solo on Friday, me and the listeners hanging out on Friday, and I get off the air and I get ready for a week vacation off the grid, and Kyler Murray gets cut after I'm done on Friday, or he gets cut on the weekend, and I don't get a chance to talk about it on the show, boy, I'm going to be angry on my vacation.
It's a vacation.
Now, you know how this works. They're going to
That's how I just know. By the way, that's exactly
on
how
Friday. Text message that you're going to send me of, Cardinals cut Kyler Murray. It's going to be great.
I feel bad because we all know.
Oh, of course. When you get in this business, you've learned. I mean, this happened last week with the NFLPA report cards. We did a whole show, like 1:15. They broke. So I was late to the party. I had to wait for everybody else to talk about it, and then I got to talk about it. You like when things break on the air because you can set your opinion out there and you're not listening to anybody else.
Yeah.
Because when you do this bit, when you're in this business and you have takes,
it's hard not to let people infiltrate.
No, but most of the time there's only a handful of opinions that you can have, and so you're going to sound similar sometimes.
Yeah, probably 4 or 5 on everything.
So if you go first, you get to have that.
You
opinion.
get to have the original opinion.
Right. You get to be the OG. So that's what I'd like.
And you like being the OG.
I like going first. Yeah.
By the way, I've noticed it. I think we both have the hiccups today.
We're fighting through something today, Adam.
I don't know what it is.
I better not be getting sick before my vacation.
Oh, that would. This isn't wood, but knock on it.
There's nothing I can do about it. I'm gonna go on the vacation.
Yeah, you're going.
Yeah.
Cruise, correct?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Leave on Sunday.
It's very fun.
Back the following Sunday. 7 days. So you ready for this?
7-day cruise is a long cruise.
Sunday to Sunday. But the best part about it is when you're on a boat and you're in the middle of the ocean.
You're in the ocean.
No service. So on Monday, when all the free agency stuff is happening, I'm gonna be in a time machine back to like 2012, because the way I'm gonna consume the NFL free agency is finding a TV and just watching like ESPN to see the moves as they come in, because I'm not going to have social media. So I'm gonna be like, everyone's going to know the moves. I'm gonna be like, oh, Cardinals signed Malik Willis. People will have known for like 45 minutes by the time I see it. It'll be great.
You're going to be so late on everything. They have to have Wi-Fi on them.
It's expensive.
Is it?
Oh. It's like...
I didn't know that's like part of it.
It's like $300.
Whoa.
And it's not even like good Wi-Fi.
It's like part of its own package.
And you're like capped at how much you can use.
Wow. Yeah. Is that all because of the boat systems?
I don't know. It's just you're on a vacation.
I feel like I could be good.
My drinks are included. My food is included. What do I need my phone for? No, Brian, let me tell you right now. I'm not going to know if any of this stuff happens, but if Evan goes rogue next week and just starts creating segments, we're gonna have a couple meetings when I get back. Brian thinks you're going to go rogue and have a Down on the Farm Phillies segment next week.
I'm not going to.
There may be a Down on the Farm Diamondback segment.
That
could happen.
That could happen.
That could be possible.
When's the Diamondback spring breakout game?
Speaking of the spring breakout,
the tournament
turning into a tournament next year. Spring breakout. Another set of words that has the R key. And so, as you know, my R key on my laptop doesn't work. So it's creating a bit of March 19th to March 22nd. So just when I get back. First game for the Diamondbacks, March 21st against the Rockies. That's their spring breakout game.
Yeah, wow. That's awesome. I just think it's funny. They only play one game.
And they're going to turn it into a tournament next year in 27.
It's so much better.
Which, again, assuming we play baseball in 2027.
The Cardinals will have a top 15 offensive line in football when it's all said and done.
Boy, they better. Boy, they better. Because if we go through this whole offseason and they don't have a top 15 offensive line by the time we get to the start of the year, the Fs that they deserve will make the NFLPA report card look like an A+ in comparison. You just can't fail that hard.
No, you can't. It's
not the most cap space in the league. You have a decent chunk of cap space.
It's a good amount.
You've got to do something with it.
You have to take advantage. Have to. You have no other choice.
Braden Smith, Malik Willis. That's it. That's the ticket. That's the answer. Sign Malik Willis. Prioritize Braden Smith at right tackle. You can sign it. There's plenty of guards out there that you can sign. I would like you to get John Simpson or Elijah Vera Tucker, but there's like 5 or 6 good guard options. Braden Smith, Malik Willis, sign a guard. Sign Tyler Algier.
Sign anybody.
It's not that difficult.
It's not that difficult.
So yeah, it better be improved because there's no excuse for it not to be improved. We've been saying that all offseason long. The Cardinals don't have any excuses. Good draft picks.
No, this is the
good cap space.
It's the biggest year for Monty.
Free agent class lines up almost perfectly with what they need. There's no excuse for them not to be better. We've said it. When the draft is over, there is zero excuse for us to not say that the Arizona Cardinals are a better football team.
This is the biggest year for Monty.
Yes. Yes, it is.
That's all I got for you.
There you have it. Another edition of Buy or Sell in the books. When we come back, it's been a while since the Phoenix Suns have played basketball. They'll do it again tomorrow night. Will they have their star back when they do? That's next. The lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
It's the NASCAR Cup Series Straight Talk Wireless 500 at Phoenix Raceway.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
Green flag is flying. Here's Kyle Busch. He'll get the advantage on the outside lane.
Annual West Coast Swing begins in the Valley of the Sun.
Allgaier put the block on topside, made contact, and we've got a big one here at Daytona. Here comes Tyler Reddick. He'll make the move. They're crashing behind him. Elliott's in the wall.
It's the Straight Talk Wireless 500.
This Sunday, 11:30 a.m. on KECG 1440.
Most pedestrian and bicycle crashes happen early morning or at night. The leading cause? Drivers failing to yield. Since 2010, traffic fatalities for people walking and biking have doubled in Arizona. So stay alert and watch for bicycles and pedestrians. There's no such thing as accidents. Learn more about the risks at azdot.gov/no-accidents. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Department of Transportation.
It's the spectacular return of Bruce Springsteen and the legendary E Street Band. Land of Hope and Dreams American Tour. Live at Mortgage Matchup Center, April 16th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. An unforgettable night with Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. For more, visit BruceSpringsteen.net.
Hey, it's Phil Shaver with HomeSmart, and I want to buy your house. I'm a local investor that buys homes for cash all over Maricopa and Pinell County. I buy inherited homes, nice homes, rental homes, homes that are behind on mortgage payments, and I even buy ugly homes that need fixing. Also, are you looking to get closer to market value for your house? As a licensed realtor, I've been able to buy and sell thousands of homes. Since I'm local, you can call me directly on my cell phone, 480-409-9999. Again, that's 480-409-9999. I don't work for a big corporation or hedge fund, so I can only buy 3 to 5 homes per month. There are no fees involved, and you can pick your own close date. The best part is I buy homes as is, so you don't have to worry about doing any repairs. Again, you can call me directly at 480-409-9999, or you can go to my website, GoSoldAZ.com. That's GoSoldAZ.com.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. By granting former first-round pick Anthony Richardson permission to seek a trade, the Colts may have just boxed themselves into a corner by surrendering any contract leverage with Daniel Jones. Now the negotiating table with Jones looks different. The QB delivered a breakout stretch in Indy, but context matters. We're talking about 13 games. This is also a quarterback working his way back from an Achilles injury. It's not a decade of dominance, just a promising sample size. QB markets are built on scarcity. Once Richardson was effectively removed as an internal alternative, Jones' representation gained power. The Colts need somebody productive under center. And with no first-round pick in 2026 or 27, they're running out of options. Margin for errors disappear. Indy may believe Jones is the answer. That's defensible. But the danger is not committing to him. The danger is having to overcommit because they have no other choice. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. These days, everybody's searching for ways to save on insurance, scrolling comparison sites, digging through tips, chasing deals, but Liberty Mutual makes it simple. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance to save you money. And when you bundle, those savings really come through. It's insurance built for real people with a team that goes above and beyond to help you keep more of what matters. No hunting, no hassle, just confidence that your coverage customized with savings in mind. Start your quote at libertymutual.com. 2 words, prostate exam. Relax. Screening starts with a simple finger-free blood test. Around 1 in 8 men in the United States will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. Prostate cancer can have over a 99% 5-year relative survival rate when caught at a localized or regional stage. If you're 40 or over and have a prostate, visit relaxitsabloodtest.com to see if a PSA blood test is right for you. Talk to your doctor about screening and the next steps. Sponsored by Novartis.
NAU men's basketball wraps up their regular season on KACG 1440 and KDUS AM 1060. Join the Lumberjacks as they defend home court one more time against Montana State. Head coach Shane Burkhart is more than ready to lead his team to one more win as the regular season wraps up. Join Mitch Stroman on the call live. It's NAU versus Montana State. Pregame at 5:30 p.m. over on KACG 1440 and tip off at 6, also on KDUS AM 1060.
The Suns last played Thursday, February 26th. They will next play tomorrow night, March 3rd in Sacramento. Producer Evan pointed this out to me in the morning meeting, a rare extended break in the middle of a season for a team. Yeah, you've got your all-star break, right? That's a couple of days, a significant amount of time. But rarely do you have, and I'll pull open the schedule. I haven't looked at it, but I can't see another stretch where they had this much time off. They didn't play on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. So 4 days off in between games, not including the all-star break. Is there a stretch where that is the case? In February, the 1st, the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th, the 10th, the 11th? No. January 2nd, 4th, 5th, 7th, 9th, 11th, 13th, 15th, 17th, 19th, 20th, 23rd, 25th. Nothing in January, December 1. They played on Monday, December 1st, which was the 5th. They then played that Friday, the 5th. So they had the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's just 3 days off. They had some time off because they lost in the first round of the NBA Cup, but it wasn't extended. I mean, this is a abnormal amount of time off that a team gets in the middle of the season. And you know what? I'm okay with it. I'm okay with a team that's banged up and hurt having a couple of extra days to get healthy before we reach. I mean, we're in the fourth quarter now, right? March and April, like we're in the end game here for the Phoenix Suns. So an extra day, you usually get maybe 3 days at most. They're getting an extra day, a fourth. I'm good. I'll take the extra day to get healthy because right now I've got Dylan Brooks sidelined. I've got Devin Booker sidelined. I've got Jordan Goodwin sidelined. I've got some key players to my team sitting on the bench. And if an extra day moves them closer to being back in the lineup and helps me get them back sooner so that they miss less time, I'm all for it. And also, I just wonder, after beating the Lakers, you probably wanted to keep the momentum rolling and try to build a little bit of a winning streak. But with how bad February was, 4-7 in the month of February, 4-7, their worst month of the season. Hardest schedule that they've had all year in the month of February, 4th hardest in the NBA in the month of February, and it showed. They struggled. They got hurt. They didn't look like themselves, especially against Portland and Boston. The extra couple of days might be exactly what Jordan Ott and his coaching staff needed to get this team mentally back in the place that they need to be if they are going to battle back 1.5 games behind the Los Angeles Lakers for the 6th seed in the Western Conference, holding on to the 7th seed right now over the Golden State Warriors, and a soft part of the schedule coming up at Sacramento tomorrow night, Chicago, New Orleans, and Charlotte. The extra time can be exactly what this team needs to get their focus. Not to say their focus was gone, but those games against Portland and Boston were troubling. To get their focus back on track for the important stretch of this season.
This team needed this probably more than most. This 5-game, 5-day little break, I don't know if it would have been more beneficial for another team in the NBA. I really don't. And for them to finish off February with a win over the Lakers and then to have this break, now you're at Sacramento, you have Chicago, New Orleans, Charlotte. I mean, you can take advantage of this schedule and to get healthy to do so. Like, you could see this team come out of this break here, this little blip in the schedule, whatever you want to call it, and rattle off 4 in a row, making it a 5-game winning streak.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right there in front of them. We talked about it at the end of last week. You're facing 2 of the worst teams in the Western Conference, a Chicago team that, let's give it up, they did snap their losing streak. They picked up a win, but before that had lost 11 in a row, and a Charlotte team that's below 500. I mean, this is it. This is where you get right and you apply a ton of pressure on the Los Angeles Lakers, and you might, we don't know yet, and I don't think we'll hear from them today. We'll hear from mostly tomorrow. You could have Devin Booker back for this game tomorrow night. The reports are that he is trending closer to a return, and it could happen as early as tomorrow. More than likely, the worst case scenario, it's Thursday, but this is the week this team's going to get Devin Booker back in the lineup, and it couldn't come at a better time. I don't think it couldn't come at a better time for a team that seemingly lost their way for a little bit there. They've been dealing with a ton of injuries outside of Devin Booker that have hurt them. I think it's great for Jalen Green, who has struggled. I wonder if Devin Booker being back, he just feels less pressure, and that allows him to play more freely and play more his style of basketball. I think it's going to help Grayson Allen. It's going to help Royce O'Neal. It's just going to help everybody to have your superstar back in the lineup. But it's just going to be that, steady, calm, guiding hand at a time where they desperately need that, because they need to take advantage of these 4 games. Not just that we think they can, not just they're a lot better than these 4 teams. The schedule gets harder on the other side of this. There's an extended road trip coming up that the Suns are really going to have to play above their weight in that road trip to stay in the mix for the 6th seed. The way you help yourself is you take full advantage. 3-1 is the bare minimum of the next 4 games for the Phoenix Suns. You have to go 3-1 in this stretch at Sacramento, Chicago, New Orleans, and Charlotte. And if you wanted to say they needed to go 4-0, I don't blame you. These are 4 teams that the Suns should beat. If they have Devin Booker back, even more reason for them to be 4-0 in this stretch. Apply maximum pressure on the Lakers. Show the world that you are back to being the team you were in January. Show the world that February was just a blip on the radar. If you struggle in this stretch, if you look like you did against Boston and Portland, there's going to be a lot of questions about who really is this team at this stage of the season. And so you've got a really, really good chance here to all of a sudden put back on the table what we were talking about around the All-Star break of, hey, you could be the 6th seed. You could avoid the play-in tournament altogether. That's the new goal. That's the new expectation for this team. All of a sudden, it's back on the menu. It's back on the table.
Everything's on the table for this team right now. And I know it doesn't feel like that because of how February went.
It's just so
right?
awful.
Like, it was just so bad.
So glad it's March. So
and
glad.
Then, the back-to-back games where you give 77 and then 81 against Portland and Boston. And I know it doesn't feel like that. But you're 2 games behind the Lakers, who are not playing great basketball right now. And you're in a spot where your schedule gets pretty favorable here. Yeah, you're punching up. You're fighting an uphill battle. I get it. You're in the backseat trying to catch up. I know. But if you get healthy, man, it feels like this team could once again be playing for a 6 seed spot and in reality just be a pesky team in the playoffs if they get healthy.
You didn't do the damage that it felt like you did going 4-7 in February, right? If you just looked at the games on paper and you looked at the record and you looked at the 4-7 and you watched every one of these games, you would feel like they just lost it all. That the 6 seed's not available to them. They're going to let Golden State back in. They may not even be the 7 seed. You're feeling, based on the way they played and the way they looked in that 4-7 stretch, they lost everything. That couldn't be further from the truth.
No, it's not true at all.
Still in the 7 seed, 1.5 games back of an LA team that they've beaten 3 of the 4 times they've played them this year. Competitive in the 1 game that they lost. They've got one more meeting with that team that could prove to be crucial in all of this. It's still all right there in front of them.
It really is. It's all right there.
And you get to wipe the slate clean. You get to put February behind you. And tomorrow night, potentially with Devin Booker back in the fold, you can make it a winning streak by beating Sacramento in Sacramento. You can come back home 2 wins in your back pocket facing Chicago, New Orleans, and Charlotte. And I know Charlotte of these 4 teams is the best team, but they're a below 500 basketball team that you should be able to, at home, take care of business against. That's what's in front of this team. And the quicker they can get Devin Booker back, I think the easier it's going to be for them to look more like the team they were in the first half of the season and start to gain that confidence again. And I think they certainly started to turn the corner with the way they played against LA because they played more like themselves, right? They played more team basketball. They were gritty in that game. They had a big lead late. They played competitive. They were able to find somebody to knock down that final shot, even with Jalen Green playing as poorly as he did. No Devin Booker, no Dillon Brooks. They still found a way. It's the perfect kind of, magic formula, medicine for the ills that we're facing this team. Now you got to build on it, and you might be able to have Devin Booker back in order to do so. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll get you ready for the game tomorrow against Sacramento. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also chat away with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, Combine Week in the rearview mirror. What did we learn about the Arizona Cardinals? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
I'm not here to bury Mike Tomlin, but the fact is, this absolutely is the right move. He did the right thing, and he fired himself. All good things come to an end. Going a decade without winning a single playoff game is not meeting the standard.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
This is Michael with Restore My Civil Rights. Tax season is here, and for many people, that refund check is an opportunity. If a past conviction is holding you back from constitutional rights, your tax return can be an investment in your future. Instead of spending your refund on something temporary, use it to remove legal barriers from your record and restore your standing as the law-abiding citizen you've worked hard to become. To book a free consultation, call 855-GUN-RIGHTS or visit RestoreMyCivilRights.com today. That's RestoreMyCivilRights.com.
A night you don't want to miss. Avenged Sevenfold. Good Charlotte. North America Tour 2026. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. August 27th. Avenged Sevenfold. Good Charlotte. An epic night of music. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Don't miss Avenged Sevenfold and Good Charlotte, part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Some flavors just take you to another place. Like the Filet-O-Fish, a crispy fish fillet made with wild-caught Alaskan pollock on melty American cheese topped with tartar sauce, all on a soft steamed bun. It's crispy, flaky perfection. And right now, I can mix and match 2 favorites, like a Filet-O-Fish or 10-piece Chicken McNuggets for just $6. This deal is the catch of the day. So get to McDonald's fast. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi.
No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at PepsiPromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of PepsiCo.
Renaissance Festival is back. Weekends now through March 29th. Be ready to have a great time. Amazing adventure awaits the entire family. New shows, shopping, jousting nights, non-stop feasting. Leave your cares behind. Happiness reigns at the Renaissance Festival. It's fun and affordable. Visit now through March 29th. Discount tickets available at Bashas' and Food City or online at arizona.renfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Bashas', Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness. Huzzah!
With a Global Credit Card, you earn reward points for every purchase. Use your rewards at checkout at many of your favorite stores, or use points instead of cash when you shop online. You can even use them to book a flight up to 3 days in advance. New York, Vegas, Albuquerque. From groceries to getaways, redeem your way. Apply for your Global Credit Card now at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
When your average fan goes to an NBA game, it doesn't matter if it's game 1 or game 82. Everyone healthy should be on the court giving 110% max effort. We've seen what a player like Victor Wembanyama could do to a franchise. All the greatest of the greats, when they hit the franchise, their team becomes an instant playoff team. I hate when players that are healthy are not playing in a regular season game.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
The NFL Scouting Combine in the rearview mirror. So what did we learn about the Arizona Cardinals? Because as I said to you before the Scouting Combine got underway, you've got all of these power players, GMs, coaches, scouts, agents, media personnel under the same roof day after day after day. Information just goes all over the place. And so there were the big-time takeaways. The Cardinals appear to be major players in the Malik Willis sweepstakes. There are a lot of people that assume that the Cardinals are going to end up with Malik Willis when free agency legal tampering opens up next Monday. That's been a big theme of the last week. Kyler Murray was also a storyline. The latest reports out of Ian Rappaport are that the Cardinals are expected to release him, barring a last-minute trade, but it doesn't feel like there's anything on that front, although producer Evan loves to keep reminding me every time I bring this up to keep an eye on Minnesota. I don't know why that's the reminder that he keeps giving me, but every time I'm like, yeah, they're going to cut him, he's like, well, Minnesota might trade for him. I don't know if that's wishful thinking on his part, that $34 million in cap space is just going to open up for us to talk about, but
Minnesota's interested.
Yeah, and that's exactly the way you say it too. You're like, oh, Minnesota's interested. Every time I bring up Kyler Murray getting cut or a report, you're like, yeah, but Minnesota's interested.
That's all I keep hearing. Minnesota's interested.
So Kyler Murray looks like he's going to get cut. Malik Willis looks to be the leader in the clubhouse for what the Cardinals want to do with the quarterback position. And The Athletic wrote there everything we learned about all 32 teams at the 2026 NFL Combine. I usually don't read entire blurbs, but producer Evan, I wonder if you can help me with this exercise, because I want to read the full blurb here from Doug Holler about the Arizona Cardinals, and I want to question if this is the type of thing that we should learn from the Combine about the Cardinals. Quote, injuries last season played a key role in derailing Arizona's season. The Cardinals were not built to contend, but finishing with a league-high 26 players on injured reserve did not help. GM Monty Ossenfort called this an off-season priority. The Cardinals are examining how they structure practice and how they train over the summer. Quote, we're looking at everything. Our training staff, our strength and conditioning staff, how we train players, how we treat players, end quote, he said. Quote, it's tough when you acquire players and you try to build a team and then those players that you're counting on, for whatever reason, they're not out there. We've got to find a way to overcome that. There's two things that suck about life in the NFL, injuries and losing. Unfortunately, we suffered a lot of both last season, end quote. I agree with everything that was written in that paragraph. Is that really the type of thing that we should be learning from the 2026 NFL Combine?
I don't really even know how to react.
Like Baltimore, couple blurbs down here, right? Talking about, contract negotiations for Tyler Linderbaum, right? That feels like something that's you learn at the Combine because you talk to the GM, you ask him how things are going. You're able to kind of get a leak of information, right? Buffalo, the conversation about a wide receiver. The Panthers, the first sentence, the Panthers will let all of their free agents test the market. That feels very timely with what's coming up next on the schedule. The Cardinals blurb
feels like it should have been from weeks ago.
Doesn't really match up with what you expect to learn from the Combine. And I wonder if that's just a byproduct of a team that has so much work to do and there is so much unknown about what their offseason is going to look like.
I think that's exactly
I just don't know I don't know why that's our takeaway.
It doesn't make any sense.
Nothing about Kyler Murray, nothing about Malik Willis, right? To me, the thing we learned at the Combine is the Cardinals, according to a lot of people inside the league, appear to be the team in the Malik Willis sweepstakes. Like, that's notable. That's very notable. That is going to be the key move of the offseason if it pans out. If it's actually true that they're the leader and they get this done, that is, I know some of you out there may not agree with it. I think it's a seismic change.
It's the most important story for the Cardinals right now.
Kyler out, a new quarterback in, and there should be excitement about a offensive-minded head coach getting somebody who clearly would be his guy.
Correct.
Like that should be excitement. That should be buzzworthy. Not a peep, not even a mention. We're focusing on injuries. We're focusing on the training staff. We're focusing on structuring of practice. Now, yes, injuries did derail this team last year, but I would also argue they didn't have good quarterback play. They didn't have a competent offensive line. They didn't have a full wide receiver room. Their two running backs were hurt. Yes, injuries derailed them in that department. But there was so much that went into that season that you just can't boil it down to one thing. Were injuries the reason they lost 3 games in a row in the fourth quarter? I'll answer it for you. No, that is not the reason why they lost 3 straight games in the fourth quarter.
They lost 3 straight games because they made mistake after mistake after mistake, and bad ones, catastrophic mistakes in these games.
Like the Cleveland Browns. Can I read you the Cleveland Browns blurb?
Yeah, read me the Cleveland Browns.
And not the whole thing, but I'm just going to give you the first couple sentences, which you could just maybe copy, paste, change a couple names, and it would apply for the Cardinals. Quote, the Browns are open to multiple options at quarterback, and that certainly includes the, quote, open competition that new coach Todd Monken referenced during his Combine media availability. But it's clear that the team won't just have Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson in that competition. Like that feels like what you learn at the Combine. Like that feels
you could
very
do
timely.
that exact paragraph for the Cardinals.
For Denver, they talk about how Sean Payton's giving up the play calling duties to Davis Webb. We learned that at the Combine. I know Monty was asked about this. And I'm not going after Doug Holler for this being the takeaway. I compared it to some of the other teams that I read, and I'm like,
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. That's
doesn't
what we
align.
learned.
The alignment.
Not aligned. It feels out of place. It feels like it doesn't belong in this story.
That's what I can't get over. It just doesn't belong.
The Detroit Lions, quote, could the Lions be more aggressive in free agency than they have in years past?
That makes way more sense.
Indianapolis Colts, Anthony Richardson Sr. wants out.
Way more sense.
How about this? How about the Chargers blurb? Quote, the Chargers are facing a realistic scenario of needing 3 new starters on the interior offensive line, end quote.
Makes more sense.
Like all of those make sense. And the Cardinals blurb, like even the Rams, quote, the Rams really do not value the Combine. Like all of these tie into what we saw last week or what's coming. For the Cardinals, it was, well, you got to work on how we structure practice and our training staff. What? What? That's what we learned at the Combine? We didn't learn that Malik Willis is probably going to be the next quarterback of the team?
That can't be the takeaway.
It just can't be, right? If that's the takeaway, something went wrong here. It is something they need to address this offseason.
I get it. That's true. Can't argue that's not true.
Now that the offseason's first inflection point is behind us, what did they learn in Indianapolis about your favorite team is the way this was written. That's what we learned about the Arizona Cardinals?
I knew that 6 weeks ago.
6 weeks ago? I knew that in December. I knew it in Thanksgiving.
This is a ridiculous headline.
You got Malik Willis. You've got new offensive linemen. Listen, you want the takeaway to be, hey, maybe there's a change coming to the running back room. Okay,
we got something there.
We got something there. We're going to write about injuries?
Doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also chat away with us on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. Our guy Michael over there says, why pay $50 million to win 6 games next year? Doesn't make sense to me. I'm assuming this comment is in reference to Malik Willis. The number of games should not matter, because if Malik Willis looks better than Jacoby Brissett and Kyler Murray and anybody else that's played quarterback over the last couple of years, and you see, because you can tell, even in just 6 games, even in 6 wins, you can tell if somebody's a franchise quarterback and something to build around, because we don't expect the Cardinals to completely turn this thing around overnight and in one offseason. But if you bring in a quarterback who can help you win games, and you lose games because, you just don't have this piece there, or you have a kick go wide late, 6-win seasons are not all created the same. And if you can end next year saying, hey, we got Malik Willis on a 2 or a 3-year deal, and we feel like he's the answer at quarterback, man, do you know how much better your situation is? That's why you do it. We'll see if they do it. They've got a week until we'll get the answer to that question. When we come back, it's all the stories we didn't get to here today on the program. We call them the leftovers, and we will get to them next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
The roar of the NTT IndyCar Series is back.
Robert Wickett, your leader, in for his final stop of the night. These guys haven't made a mistake, but a little problem with the right rear.
Take a look to the inside. No, Hicks slams the door into turn number 1.
They're side by side. Joseph Newgarden has made the pass.
Listen to the NTT IndyCar Series at Phoenix Raceway, live this Saturday.
12:30 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060.
The other day, I couldn't find my belt, and my wife found my belt, and as she brought it to me, she said, where would you be without me? And I wanted to say, exactly here without the belt. In fact, I would have the belt because I would know exactly where it was in yesterday's pants on the floor. But now, we're not allowed to leave yesterday's pants on the floor, so I need a National Treasure-style map to find my one lousy belt.
Seth Meyers, live on stage, Saturday, March 14th, Talking Stick Resort. Tickets are on sale now at TalkingStickResort.com.
Low T, start for free for a limited time. Get prescription testosterone therapy with no startup fee, only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. Prescription testosterone gives you more energy, stamina, and it'll help you lose weight and lose that dad bod for good. You'll also think better, sleep better, and your love life will be better. Look, don't be fooled. Nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. So skip the gimmicks and get prescription strength testosterone now at Red Mountain Weight Loss. It's a game changer. So don't wait. If you've got low T, get started for free. Meet with a board-certified medical provider online with no waiting from the convenience of your home or office. Book today and feel like yourself again. Only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Go to redmountainweightloss.com or dial pound 250 on your phone. Keyword Red Mountain. Red Mountain Weight Loss. Real testosterone. Real doctors. Real results.
Been crazy busy these days? Sounds like you could use a little we time. That means playtime at the AAA 4-Diamond Wecopa Casino Resort. Game time with more than 900 slots plus table games. Maybe a tea time on one of 2 nationally ranked courses. And definitely some hang time at WKP Sportsbook, the largest sportsbook in the state. Wecopa Casino Resort. It's we time.
Postseason play begins for ASU women's basketball right here on KDUS AM 1060. The Lady Sun Devils have fought hard all season long and are ready to show off their skills in postseason play against the Wildcats of the U of A this Wednesday. Join Jeff Munn on the call live. It's round 1 of the Phillips 66 Big 12 women's basketball tournament between ASU and the University of Arizona. Pregame at 4 p.m. and tip-off at 4:30 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS app.
A lot of stuff happening this week on KDUSAM 1060. I mentioned it a little earlier in the show. NAU's regular season finishes up tonight. They'll play in the Big Sky tournament over the weekend. We'll know exactly where they play, I believe, after tonight. Although it looks like they're locked into the 9-10 matchup on Saturday evening. But we'll keep you up to date on that. We've got ASU women's basketball. The Big 12 tournament starts on Wednesday, 4 o'clock pre with the tip at 4:30. And if they win, they'll play on Thursday and all the way up until Sunday where the championship game is. Saturday, big day. Saturday got a lot of stuff going on that we can already say is on the schedule. Again, all of this is subject to change depending on ASU and NAU's respective runs in their tournaments. But we've got IndyCar at 12:30. So KDUSAM 1060, now the home of some select IndyCar races throughout the course of the year. And that will start with this Saturday's race in Phoenix. So we will have IndyCar right here on KDUSAM 1060. That'll lead you into the NASCAR race that will be taking place on Saturday. That's at 5 o'clock. That'll be over on KZG. And then there will be some NAU men's basketball, we think, at 5 o'clock on Saturday. Again, all subject to change depending on how ASU plays and with NAU's regular season ending tonight. I think I put all the disclaimers out there about, hey, this is what the tentative plan is, but all of this can change depending on.
I think you got it all.
Because we got conference championships going on, and ASU.
It's a busy week.
ASU could be playing on Sunday in the championship, or it could be, 1 or 2 and done. So,
and that's the biggest thing is we don't know how many games they're going to play.
No. And so that's the tentative plan as we learn as the week moves on. First things first, ASU will take on, I believe it is the University of Arizona on Wednesday. They win that, they play Thursday, and we'll just take it day by day as a group. But well, hopefully we'll have that IndyCar race airing on the station on Saturday. Again, all depends on how ASU turns out, and we'll move some stuff around if need be. What do we got in the leftovers today, producer Evan?
Biggest story of the day. I know what you're wondering. Jerry Jones says the Cowboys are going to be big spenders this offseason. Obviously, I'm kidding. That's not the biggest story of the day, but he did say that. Lions are trading David Montgomery to the Texans for a 4th round, a 7th round pick, and offensive lineman Juice Scruggs. I think I got those details of the trade correct because originally it was reported
I was going to say it's better than some of the reporters out there.
That it was for a 5th round pick. Liars. Liars.
Can we
go
back?
Not what it's for.
Can we go back to the first story?
Yes, Jerry Jones says they're going to be spenders. I actually thought you would want to gloss over that.
They have negative $56.1 million in cap space. So how are we going to be big spenders? We have to be cap compliant.
He have said this for 10 years.
All right, let's restructure some contracts. Dak Prescott, restructure. CD
Lamb, are you doing the thing?
Restructure. Yeah, hold on. Let me see what I can get to.
Tyler
Smith, restructure. Oh, I can do. Hold on now. Restructure. I'm restructuring everybody. Everybody gets a restructure. You get a restructure. You get a restructure. I can get them to $50 million with some restructures. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Spend away. Spend away there, Jerry. Yeah, this was a weird trade that it was originally a 5th round pick, was reported, and then it turned into, no, actually it's a 4th round pick, a 7th round pick, and a player. I don't know how you screwed that up that bad.
If you are in a dynasty fantasy league, by the way, what a day for Montgomery and Gibbs.
If you're a Gibbs owner, you love it. Because now those times where he steps off the field to give Montgomery touches and you want to rip your hair out, those are gone.
And I think Montgomery, though, like the longer you sat in that backfield, the less touches you were going to get.
All right, but do you like being in Houston?
More than Detroit.
I just don't know how much opportunity there's going to be there.
That's fair. That's fair. Also, the Commanders are planning to release cornerback Marshawn Lattimore, save themselves $18.5 million.
Yeah, $18.5 million is what they saved by moving on from him, and so they'd rather have that cap space than have Marshawn Lattimore on their roster, which is what a fall for Lattimore as a player. Traded from the Saints because he was just hurt so much, made a lot of money, and the Commanders, Dan Quinn, defensive-minded coach, said, I think I can do better.
Just really has not been good.
No, and hasn't been healthy.
That's kind of the biggest reason. Have you been seeing the ABS challenge system? It's awesome.
Oh, I got to tell you, I don't know how many managers have been asked about this, and shame on me for not doing the research, even though I'm going to bring it up here on the show. What do you think the strategy should be?
I think there are certain players in your lineup
because you only get 2.
Yeah, so I think there are certain players.
Technically, you get 2 wrong ones. Is the way I should phrase it. Because if you keep getting them right, you keep your challenges.
Like, I think it's going to be a lot of feeling out process early.
Like who gets it on the Diamondbacks? Who gets the green light to do it?
Yeah, it's probably Marte.
Oh, see, I was going to. I was going to give it to Geraldo Perdomo.
Yeah, Perdomo knows the zone better.
And do they have the green light to do it early in a game? See, here's what I love about this. I wish, personally, we would just go to a completely automated system because it would just remove a lot of, questionable calls out of the game. But I like this system as kind of a nice middle ground because it does create a strategy for the team. Like you have to decide what the right thing to do is. And here's the best part.
And who to use it with. And
we don't have enough data for the analytics people, myself included. I'm considered. Oh, I didn't have the right button turned up. Hold on.
I'm a huge nerd.
I love going with the numbers. We don't have enough data to say what the numbers say to do here is.
So to this point, it is interesting. The A's have been the most successful team on the challenge, hitting about 69.2% of their challenges. The Giants hit about 66.7%. Reds, Marlins, Padres, all about at 61%. The worst teams, the Dodgers are the lowest currently at 21%. The Baltimore Orioles at 25%. The New York Mets at 35%. And the Rangers at 38%. MLB's average success rate is about 51.3%. With an average of 2.3 challenges per game to this point. You imagine that'll be more.
What a fascinating little subplot to pay attention to when you're watching both the Diamondbacks and any other team that you watch throughout the course of the season. May I throw a leftover story out there?
Of course.
Because I don't know if you were going to bring this up.
Yeah.
This Tyler Reddick guy never loses.
Yeah, I was going to go that next. So Josh Reddick, the theory proved right. Tyler Reddick.
This guy doesn't lose.
And we should have guessed that. I didn't know he was Jordan's racer.
He's won the first 3 races of the year.
Yeah. It's unprecedented, I believe.
I'm watching the race, and Bubba Wallace was just...
I mean, your guy was terrible. Yeah. How'd Ty Gibbs do?
Because that's what you took? Because you had your Jahmyr Gibbs thing? That's right. I was trying to remember exactly who you took, and that's... You know what? Now that you say that, I remember. Ty Gibbs, 4th. Oh, you were right there.
I was right there. I was knocking on the door. I don't want to say anything. I feel like I've had the best picks to this
so
point.
Far, absolutely. No question about it. No question about it. I don't think I've even sniffed a victory yet. I haven't even gotten close.
Yeah, I got one, and I've been sniffing one.
Now, one of us has to get this week because it's Phoenix. They're here.
I'm take Reddick.
No, you can't. No. You have to wait till Friday. And we usually let John go first because he's the racing guy.
Yeah,
I usually let him.
Always let John go first.
Do you remember who did he take? Did he mention Tyler Reddick on Friday? I remember he named like 4 guys he wanted us to pay attention to, and I was like, you get one. You get one pick.
I wish I could tell you who his pick was off the top of my head right now.
I don't know who we picked. I don't think it was Tyler Reddick, though.
I don't think it was either.
Yeah, good start. Good start to the year for Tyler Reddick. 3 for 3, setting himself up very nicely. Sorry, that was the one leftover story I wanted to add to the show today.
No, I appreciate it. I thought that was a good one.
Well, especially when we were talking on Friday about making picks, and Tyler Reddick came up, and we're like, oh, he's won 2 in a row. And you picked him to have the only win I think the show has this year.
Correct, yeah. And remember, when I picked him, everybody was like, well, he won last week. He's not going to win again. And I was like,
I'll take him.
I like Josh Reddick.
I'll take him. There you go. Another edition of the program in the books. NAU men's basketball tonight, 5:30 pregame. You can listen to it over on KZG 1440. The Tip, you can listen to right here on KDUS AM 1060 and in the KDUS AM 1060 app. Jim Rome, he's coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody have a great rest of your Monday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.